Hi guys. As you can see, I'm not in Hawaii yet. Still thinking about Dig. So I thought I would just talk for a few minutes about the bigger, broader idea of what Dig is, or what I hope it to become in the this year and in the years in the future. This way, now that it's a movie, you can play this over and over and over again and really learn the deep concepts of Howard's thoughts for Dig. So, quick historically, since there's a bunch of folks that are new, this is a reconfiguration of the old tech committee that existed during actually the first, well, before I came, and then up to a year ago. So for about 11 years, 12 years, there was a technology committee run by the tech director, that's me, and primarily as sort of an advice group to the tech department, to me, to Igor, and today to also to Mercedes. A lot of our focus during the first several years really centered around laptops and preparing for laptops, talking about laptops, debating it, looking at potential policies, talking about various equipment. And then once we implemented laptops back in 2002, 2003, for a few years we were really talking about technology policy, laptop use, exploring some software. And really about 2 or 3 years ago, I think the group sort of lost its real focus, because we in essence had pulled off the plan that the school had developed over 10 years ago, and we're still sort of living the end of that plan. We may still want to develop a new technology policy or a new technology plan for the next 5 to 10 years. Some of you have actually asked me about that, and it may come up as an agenda item in the future. Right now, I'm wanting to put a hold on really futuristic thinking in terms of developing a plan, and let the idea of the Dig group really resonate for at least another year before we really explore new technology planning. The idea for Dig actually, to some extent, comes from the Castellea School that started I think a very similar group a couple years ago under Steve Taffy's leadership at Castellea. And the basic idea is to gather people to serve on this committee who are primarily interested in learning and improving learning and teaching through the use of technology, and those that have sort of a spirit of experimentation, interested in trying some new things that have never been tried before, at least that you've never tried before, but also that the school hasn't really seen very much or at all in the past. And to really focus, hopefully just on one thing for the next year or two, to really learn whatever that tool or practice is. Could be a piece of software, it could be a piece of equipment and how it's used in the classroom. It could be a broader range of tools. And as you guys talk this through as a group, I think a lot of these ideas are going to come flushing out especially from folks that have been on that were on the group on the committee last year. I want to really reiterate that the whole focus here is on thinking and developing and exploring ideas that are going to support teaching and learning at the school. So where I'm interested, but this is not a group that is charged with exploring tools for the sake of exploring it. We're not just looking at new tools because they're new. We're not going to explore things because they're cool. We want to explore things because we have because you think that it has a potential of improving the teaching and learning environment at not only at Urban, but hopefully in other places. Last year saw some really great experimentation with some tools that I think will eventually either we've discovered that they will or won't work, or some of them have actually started to make inroads. For example, Jeff Ruth and Megan, and I think primarily Jeff and Megan as members of the committee last year, used document cameras and use them in different kinds of ways. Not that those were necessarily new to Urban, but that really was a focus. Megan also focused on using the LiveScribe pen, which was a new thing. I believe she's passed that on to Scott Nelson, who's experimenting with using a LiveScribe pen to be able to record notes and to be able to do something mathematically that was really impossible or next to impossible with something else. Larissa and Lori and others had explored use of Nings and wikis and Web 2.0 tools that I think are in the process of still being explored and will likely find a real home, in particular in the English department. We'll see how that develops. Jeff also did a quick exploration of using instant response systems in the classroom. First looking at hand clickers and finding a web tool that actually worked far better, especially because we're a laptop school. I believe it's called Poll Everywhere or Poll Anywhere. The purpose of this meeting today is really to get you all to really open up and share ideas and to really prompt each other to generate some ideas that you may be thinking of or that you may need to be pushed in certain directions. You may discover at this meeting that there's one or two others that are really interested in exploring the same thing, and so a group project would be great. Individual projects would be great. You don't necessarily have to have your project sorted out today. I really want today to be a solidifying experience so that you can explore ideas. And then what I'd like to do is first thing next week, as soon as I come back, I'd like to sit down with each of you briefly and just have you talk through some of your ideas, and so that we're all sort of solidified on a specific project. So you could be ending up sort of as a lead explorer all by yourself, a lead explorer with one or two other folks. You could just be supporting somebody. I think Igor and Mercedes and I will definitely just be playing a support role. Lindsay, Alex, and Walker, you may end up playing a support role, although I'd really like to see you explore something perhaps from a student perspective. Undoubtedly, some of you are going to walk away with no idea of something that you want to really focus on, and eventually you will either have an idea, or we'll pair you with somebody so that you're exploring things on your own, and then so really the majority of the rest of the meetings are going to be all of us, presenting our ideas and our progress and what we've learned, and then also exploring how can we get out some of these new learnings to the faculty. What's the best way of communicating these ideas to faculty? And that's about it. Hopefully this goes smoothly, and take lots of notes, and I'll see you in a few days, because right now, at this moment, I hopefully am sitting at the pool somewhere in Princeville, Hawaii. Aloha. Mahala.